There you go.
That's my home computer.
Okay. Well, let's see if I can do an introduction and see where it goes. Yeah. All right. Not really. Okay. Well.
Yeah, I mean, we go and talk like you and
Yeah.
I, and the edition will fix all that.
Exactly. But we'll try. I'll try to get. Okay. I'll get started here. Shalom, everyone. Want you to meet my brother Hugo. My name is Kurt, and we're here to talk about some things that we've found in our Bible studies. We're looking at Job 38, verse 32 specifically. There's a word there, Mazarot. It's only used once in the entire Bible. And this perked our interest, and we're here to talk about this. We want to bring out, we've seen so much color that comes from this one scripture, spawns from, and we want to talk to you about it and let everybody that we can know what we've discovered, because it's rather exciting. At least we think it's exciting. You'll have to judge for yourself. So this scripture that we're specifically looking at is Job 38, verse 32. And how am I going to get my other screen up there? We need to pin this screen here.
Oh, your screen is pinned on this recording.
I'm going to share pin. If I pin, oh yeah. Well, okay, we've got the first glitch. How do I get the scripture up? I need to share screen from this one.
There it is. It's pinned on.
Okay, but it's not for me.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so you get to see that, but I don't.
So okay,
No.
how do I do that?
Stop share. Okay, so we'll start over. And I'll pin this. Is it big for you? Or no, that's just for me.
Yeah, I see it very well. I mean, yes.
Okay, so then if I go back here, then we're back to normal. Okay, so I'm going to introduce from here, not that other spot. This is where I introduce from. Okay, we'll start over then. That's all right.
Sure, yeah.
Shalom, everyone. My name is Kurt. This is my brother Hugo.
Shalom.
We have some things. We're studiers of the Bible, and we've discovered some things. Something in particular that we want to talk about here. It's a really big story, but it all starts when we started studying Job verse 38, or chapter 38 and verse 32. That started this whole study. So Job 38 verse 32 specifically says, can you bring out the Mazzaroth in its season? Or can you guide the great bear with its cubs? Do you know the ordinances of the heavens? Can you set their dominion over the earth? This word here, Mazzaroth, that's used essentially once. The word Mazzaroth is used once only. So this tells me there's something interesting. We need to take a look at it.
Yes.
So we did. So this word Mazzaroth is the word, what do we got? I guess you could go to the Strongs and find the number for Mazzaroth. That would be a good way to go. We can show that. But the word is Mazar. It's Mem Zion Resh. Hugo's got it on his screen right here in front of us. It says constellation, zodiac, the Hapax Legomenon. I didn't know what that meant, but that means it's only used once in the Bible, occurring in Job 38, verse 32. So, zodiac. I'm sure everybody knows zodiac, as in astrology. You've got the various signs, your astrological signs, they call them. Well, this isn't astrology. This is biblical astronomy that we're talking about. And the proper word is Mazzaroth rather than zodiac. The zodiac, if we look just above, this word also means, the word mazar means to be foul, be corrupted. The original, the true story has been corrupted and turned into what we have today as astrology. So we're not looking at astrology. Doesn't apply here. We don't even refer to it much at all. We're searching for the truth. So this word mazar, what does this zodiac? What's the true zodiac look like? Well, Hugo, you could bring up your planisphere, maybe.
Yes.
Let me.
There is the planisphere,
Okay, there's constellation.
the heavens.
This diagram, this drawing, is a depiction, artist's depiction of the true story the Mazur wrote, the true story written in the heavens. Each drawing gives you the basic idea of what that constellation is about. The line, you've got a lion, you've got a crab, you've got a bull. They're drawn that way for a reason. You have a woman, you got a snake, everything you see is drawn that way for a reason. It tells a story. So we want to tell this story, get this out. There's some interesting things. There's a comet involved here. So comet sped across the sky. You might have read about it. We're going to get into that. But first we have to lay down some foundation work. so that you can understand why this comet has a message. We believe it has a message. As we get deeper into this, it's all going to come out. It's quite deep. But first, we have to lay this foundation so that you can have a hope of understanding what is really going on. It's taken us some time to get to where we're at, and it's time to share it. So, I guess with that, I'm going to hand it over to you, Hugo, and let you um, further elaborate on this, what the Mazarote is and what it means. What does it mean?
Yeah. Yes. Okay, it's gonna be a very short explanation because it could an hour for each star. um,
There's so much here. We want to give you we're if you would, Hugo, could you give us a quick overview of what all these constellations are? We probably haven't seen. Some people might not have seen them drawn this way. Um, give us
yeah,
give us a give us a quick flyby so that we can recognize these, and then maybe go into it a little deeper for us and tell us what this is all about.
yeah, yes. What is telling of these stars, these constellations, is their name, their ancient name in Arab and also in Hebrew. Um, and basically, it's the roots that we look from their names, the roots of their names in the Hebrew language. So we use a Hebrew dictionary, etymological dictionary, to do that. So this is pretty much the exercise here, the work we're into to find out the Hebrew names and what they mean and what the story that is involved in each signs by the names of their stars involved. So the quick overview, starting with the one of the major constellation in heaven, and I mean it's the one constellation into which the sun travels and spend the most time. We know that the sun travels into 12 constellation. We can say 13, but 12 is a precise number. We'll explain 13. But one that the sun spend the most times is the constellation of Betula that we call Virgo in Latin. So here it is. This story of Betula
So,
is a
Hugo,
yes,
can I interrupt you?
yes,
Show
please.
us a show us a constellation that I know that this one here, Betula Virgo, is a rather. It's not an easy one to see. There's some here that I know that everyone would recognize rather quickly. Uh,
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
for instance, I know I can find the Big Dipper. That was one of the first ones I was ever able to see, and then I know there's one Orion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, here.
Show us how those very recognizable ones, where they are in this, and then that might help
Yes, thank you.
beginners.
The Big Dipper, the or the Big Bear, they call. It has nothing to do with a bear because a bear has no tail, and this Big Dipper there has a very long tail. But most of these stars' name have to do with a fold and sheep and um,
Do you
that
have your Do you have your pencil? Can
that
you
kind.
draw? Can you draw on there for us?
Yes, so here is the Big Dipper, Ursa Major, and I'm gonna use annotation here and then use a spotlight to show you there are one star here, Alki, the first star in the handle of the Big Dipper. We know that the Big Dipper has 7 stars. There's
Looks
a
like a big scoop.
Yeah, there's a box of 4 stars, and then there's a handle of 3 stars. So here's one, Al Qaid, and then there's the other one here. And then this one is a double star. There's so much to discuss about this double star, but one of the star is named Mizar.
Which
Uh,
that Mizar, that looks to be that's similar to Mazarot.
yeah, it's spelled the same, but yet it has to do with being separated. We can explain that later. It's from the root Nazar, Nun Zain Resh. That means to separate. Nazar. And then we say the Nazarite. Yeshua, the Messiah, was a Nazarite. He was a separated. That's the same root of this name
Of
of star.
Mizar.
Mizar. Yeah. It's the just a different prefix, let's say.
Okay.
The mem as a prefix, and the other, because it's a double star, the other star is Alcor, which mean a he lamb or a battering lamb. It also mean a saddle, and then if we add a to the word core, Cora, it would mean to dig, and that's a bit what we do here. We dig in the star.
We dig. That's right.
So that's the second stars in the handle of the scoop there, and then that's the third Aliyot, and then the big 4 stars there. They are what make up
There they are. Yes, I see them now.
there they are.
There's more stars in this constellation than I realize. It's not just 7.
No. There are more involved, but
That's what we see normally is we just see the scoop, the Big
yeah,
Dipper,
yeah.
and
And the word dipper there, it has the same uh, built in this linguistic as the word the bar. The letter B and the letter P, they are bilabial, and then so they can interchange. So the dipper, the bar, it's the same, and the bar means pasture.
does it
If
not mean does it not mean word or something also?
And it also mean word speech. The word, it's the bar. So that's the connection to that.
Isn't there a scripture that says something about the heavens declare the glory of God, and their speech night after night, their speech goes forth, and their words, something like that. Psalm
Yeah,
91, is that it?
yes, yeah, 19.
Psalm 19. That was close. So that's interesting that this word is used here. I wonder how connected that gets.
That's for the name of the constellation. The pasture, the big pasture, the little pasture, the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper. Yeah, it's very interesting.
There it is, Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. Day after day unto day utters speech, and night unto night reveals knowledge. There
So
is no
the
speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line has gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. So the heavens have words. That's funny. Um, Here we're talking about the bar, the big word.
It's talking, I guess. I mean,
It has something to say, obviously.
yeah, yeah. If we make that connection, I mean, but the connection is there. The bar is a pasture, but see, wilderness is mid the bar. There's the mem that is involved there, and it would be a wilderness would be what, a place of speech, because the mem as a prefix can be a place or a tool.
So
So mid the bar, the place of speech, the wilderness, and then today that's pretty much that. All these languages, and it's a wilderness.
it is a wilderness with all the languages we have. So that's interesting. So there's one constellation that we recognize. I'm sure everybody has seen the Big Dipper. And if you haven't, well, um, this is all. There's a lot to learn if you haven't seen the Big Dipper before. But here, you know, um, okay. So is there something else? There's one that I know is Orion.
Yeah, let's go take a look at Orion.
That one should be recognizable too, pretty well. Everybody, maybe not quite. I shouldn't say everybody, but I will anyway.
Orion is not so far from the Big Dipper there. Orion is next to the bull.
It's
There's
Orion.
Orion. And his belt. Oh,
That's the one that's most. Everybody would be.
yeah,
Most people would be able to recognize Orion's belt.
that's it. And then his three stars there. One here, one there, and then one there.
Right.
And then we his foot is somewhere here.
So
And
this is a picture of the sky. This is an artist's depiction of what we see in the night sky. And Orion is holding, what's he holding? A lion's head and a club.
yeah, the beast, or yeah, something like that.
Interesting. Interesting. So there's some other ones. I know my
The bull,
past.
the bull. The next to Orion, we see the bull sometimes his eye, and then if we look closely, there's a triangle that makes his head, and then
Yeah,
next to it, the one of the brightest star in heaven. It's called Aliyot, and it's in the constellation of the Auriga, the shepherd. And see this star Aliyot there. There's another star in the Big Dipper that is called Aliyot also.
I've
And
noticed that in my studies here in
it's there.
several stars that constellations will share the name of a star.
Yes, it's true. I mean, many people share the same name. So many stars share the same name in the constellation, yet they mean the same. They carry the same meaning. And Aliyot there would mean. Give me a second. I'll dive in my book here. Aliyot would mean the she goat, the ewe. Well, how you say that? EWE.
A ewe, a ewe versus a ram sheep.
Yeah, the ewe. Good.
Okay, is there something else? I don't want
Uh,
to take up too much time, but I just want to show that this is a depiction of what's up there in the sky. And you know, there's those are Ryan. You've seen it before. Um,
the bright one that we see Sirius is there, the nose of the Canis Major. That's one of the bright star we see, and it's in the sky at this time.
In Leo, some people are. I'm a Libra, or at least I thought I was until I started this studies. I learned that I'm actually not a Libra. I was more Virgo than Libra, but whatever you think your astrological sign is, these are all what's drawn here, at least on the in the one ring, and they call the ecliptic.
Yes, yes. Okay, I can go through some stories of time there because this could matter. Well, what you say there, because what is interesting is that in spring, let's say we're at the
Yeah,
end of,
where are we now? Today is so today
yeah,
the
today
date
actually.
the date is April the 19th of 2023 today. We should have put that at the start, was a date stamp.
Yeah,
Um, it's about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the evening, Central Standard Time.
yes, and the sun just transited from Pisces to Aries today. That's today. That's the day. It's the 30th day of the cycle of the sun from equinox. So 30th day is the time the sun transit from Pisces to Aries. That's the day. And then for 25 days, I mean on the day 55, there the sun transit from Aries to Taurus, the bull, or I should say sure, because that's the name in Hebrew, sure.
That's
And
right.
then
These names that we see are Latin names or Greek names for the most part. They're not Hebrew names.
that's it. And then the name of Aries, I should call it Tale. Tale. That's his name.
Peleg, like
Ta-
as in
Tale.
Peleg,
No, Tet Lamed Hey. Tale.
Tale. Okay, okay.
Tale. And then we meet the bull on day 55. And then from the bull sure to Tomim. Tomim, the twins, that's the day of equinox, the 91st day of the solar cycle.
Equinox,
Yeah.
equinox, or Do you mean solstice?
Yes, you're right. Solstice, sorry. The day of solstice there. That's the day the sun transit from the bull to the twins.
The summer solstice.
Yes. And then 30 days later, transit into Cancer. That's another fold. That's the idea of Cancer. It's a fold, a secured fold, safe. And then for 20 days, I think, is that 29 days? 20 days. The sun transit from Cancer to Leo, just 20 days in Cancer.
So
And
not 30. Astrology has 12 signs, and those are 30, 31 day signs or something like that. But you're
yeah,
saying
30
that this
days.
sun is only in this sign for 20 days, not 30.
Yeah, yeah. And then, like in the bull, there, it was for 37 days. And then one of the more accurate month is in Gemini. I mean, the twins. It's 31 days. It's the most accurate time. So
Okay.
20 days in Cancer, and then 37 days in Leo, and then the day of equinox is 3 days after the sun has transited into Betula. So the sun transit into Betula the day 180, and the day of equinox, if we consider that the year is long as 366 days, because it's the easiest way to count with 366. So the middle day of the solar cycle is 184, 83, I should say. So 183, that's equinox. That's the fall equinox. That's the last day of the season, of the first season of the sun. So
They
the day,
half the year.
half a year, yeah.
That's a vernal equinox.
Yeah. So for 45 days, that's the longest into which the sun travels. The Betula.
What date is that equinox? That's
Okay.
September
September 15 or 16, sorry, September 16 for
September
45 days till October 31st.
Okay, and you said yeah, because the equinox is on the 21st or the 22nd.
Yeah, yeah, 21st of September. So on September 16, like 3 days, 4 days. Uh,
Prior that it goes into Betula.
yeah, yeah. And
Then
then let's take a notice that Betula here has a star that is called Tzemach in Hebrew, and it's Pika in Latin, and it means the ears of corn, or has to do with the sprout, the spring star, let's say the first fruit. And then 45 days, again, the sun travels in Betula and then transit into Libra,
the scales.
the scales, for 23 days. And then November 23rd, from November 30th, that's 7 days. The sun spends into Scorpio.
7 days.
7 days, because the sun hit the leg of Ophiuchus, the serpent holder, the serpent, serpentier in French. And then it hits its second leg on December 18th. So the sun spends 28 days, 7 days plus 18. That's 23 days. Sorry. 25 days. Forgive me.
So they
In
call that whole thing. Oh, I see why that's called Scorpio then, because it actually does. The tail of it goes through right from one end to the other.
Yeah, he's done at the heel by the tail there. I mean, in the constellation, what you see in the heaven, you see a bigger body than that. Uh, and then its leg, it's like going up to there. The serpent looks a little bigger. I mean, this constellation looks bigger in heaven. What you see there,
Okay.
so leg reaches to the star there, Lezat. Lezat, which means the its signification is this. The perverse.
Reverse. Okay.
So again, 5 days the sun spends into Scorpio, let's say, and the day of
December 18th, you said.
December 18th, the day of not equinox, solstice is right at almost.
Yeah, 21st of December is the winter solstice.
Yeah, yeah, it's at the tip of the arrow of Sagittarius.
Shortest day of the year.
It, that's it.
Okay.
For 32 days. And then Capricornus, the story of Capricornus there is interesting. The head of a goat and then the tail of a fish. Well, which is the goat of atonement. Capri and Kippur, the same root word. Kapar, Capri, Kippur, same root word. The head of the goat of atonement, and we are his body. We are the ones that have been baptized. That's it, baptized in his name. So we're his body, he's our head. That's the Capricornus there. And then the sun spends 28 days there. That's winter,
Okay.
January 19th. And then in February 16th, the sun comes into transit into Aquarius, or I should say Delhi. Delhi is the pouring of water. And then for 24 days later, March 12th, the sun transit into Dagim. Dagim. Dag is a fish. Dagim is a plural. For 38 days, the sun spends into Dagim. So the sun has been 8 days into the Pisces when it's spring equinox there. And then 30 days later, the sun transit into Aries, which is today. This day is the day of transit.
Okay. So there's a pretty quick overview of what you're looking at in the sky. You've got my interest now on some of these things. Now, we should probably call this a break, a natural break, and then we'll go into more specific description of what that Maserote means. Each
Yeah.
constellation has a meaning, it tells a story in itself, they're connected to each other, and that's a little bit, we're going to go into that deeper.
Okay, I stopped the recording and I'm gonna start another one.
Okay.